YouTube. Put them ones in the air for the kid. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Rob Cam. And welcome back to the Rob Cam Show. And this one, of course, we got another reaction video coming at you from WrestleMania as we watching the 10 WWE heel turns that were justified. And without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Oh, wait. Subscribe to WrestleMania. Support is free, so leave a like on the video. Subscribe to Rob Cam. Support is free. Leave a like on this video, and the original video without me reacting to it will be in the description below. And let's get straight into it.
I get spit on, I get disrespected, and I'm sick of it.
10 WWE heel turns that were actually justified. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Number 10, Becky Lynch. WWE's grand idea for the Becky Lynch vs Charlotte Flair feud in 2018 was to have Lynch as the heel, but the issue here was that Lynch, despite being a heel, had every right to be furious with her former best friend. Initially, the match set for SummerSlam in 2018 was Lynch vs Carmella for the SmackDown Women's title. However, Flair was inserted into the match, and this naturally caused a rift. In the match itself, Lynch was seconds away from winning the title before Flair decided to take advantage and win the match herself. Lynch snapped after the match, and she received a thunderous pop as her actions were somewhat warranted. WWE tried to get the fans to boo Lynch, but the more promos Lynch cut, the more her motivations made sense, and eventually, after a few months, Lynch became arguably the most over name in the entire company. Number 9, The Rock. If the fans are literally chanting for a wrestler to die, then maybe, just maybe, that wrestler is justified in turning against them. This was the case with The Rock, as the fans didn't just resent him as a babyface in 1997, they loathed him and decided to greet him with chants of "Die Rocky Die." The Rock would join forces with the Nation of Domination, and his first promo as a heel explained that it was all about respect, and the fans had shown him nothing but hate and disdain. During his heel run, The Rock's work was so incredible that it managed to turn the fans into The Rock's favor. And just a few years later, the Great One would be one of the most popular babyface acts in all of pro wrestling. Number 8.
What's up? Moved his head like a pigeon, dumb quick. You ever see a pigeon just or a bird just move they like his neck? Pause. I know, bro. Just the quickness of that, bro, I would have cracked something in my neck, bro. Pause. Like, bro, that was funny.
Stephanie McMahon. The billion-dollar princess Stephanie McMahon had a rough end to the 90s. McMahon was abducted and held hostage by The Undertaker, and it was even revealed that her own father, Vince McMahon, was behind the whole ordeal in order to gain leverage over his nemesis, Stone Cold Steve Austin. In late 1990,
it was me, Austin.
McMahon and Stephanie would be right in the middle of the bad blood. In a shocking twist, Stephanie would side with Triple H at the 1999 Armageddon pay-per-view, and it would transpire that her and the game had been plotting to take over WWE. On the Raw following the heel turn, Stephanie explained to her father that this was all his own doing, as he had put her in danger for his own gain, and he never showed any remorse. Now, Stephanie had every right to take revenge on her father, and that ultimately made her, at least first, the hero in this Attitude Era storyline, and her heel turn totally justified. Number 7.
Oh, look at their relationship.
Hart heel in 1997 was a huge risk. Hart had been a top babyface for years in WWE, yet as the company began to push towards an edgier product, the fans slowly began to turn against the babyface persona that Hart was presenting. The heel turn officially went down at WrestleMania 13 as the crowd decided that Stone Cold Steve Austin was their new babyface, and Hart was a casualty of this new fan allegiance.
Who the hell?
Hart decided to turn verbally against the fans, and Hart was justified for this, as Austin had been making his life hell, so why on earth would his fan base decide that Austin was in the right and Hart was suddenly the bad guy? Now, this heel turn could have flopped, but thankfully Hart delivered one of the most underrated heel runs of all time. He was a credible heel, and everything he said had weight and justification. Number 6, Chris Jericho. Now, Chris Jericho was in a weird place in the first half of 2008. Jericho returned in 2007 as a babyface, yet something was missing from his presentation and character. Jericho would be inserted into a feud with Shawn Michaels and Batista, and despite HBK basically tricking the fans and the roster into thinking he was legitimately injured, the majority still supported HBK's questionable actions. At the time, Jericho and HBK had become close friends on TV, and when it was uncovered that he had been gaslighting everyone, Jericho was devastated. Jericho turned this disappointment into physical anger, as HBK would become his mortal enemy, and what followed was a complete career and character transformation for the first ever undisputed champion. Jericho would begin to cut slow, intricate promos, and he would even wear a dark suit to showcase that the Jericho of old was no more, and this was a new version of Jericho.
You know what they should have did with this Jericho? They definitely should have changed his theme song, because that did not match this Jericho at all. I'm sorry, like they could have changed it, did something.
Or witnessing. Number 5, CM Punk. The fans of CM Punk in 2012 were incredibly critical of his booking, and rightly so. Punk was the reigning WWE champion, yet he would often play second fiddle to John Cena, which completely devalued Punk and what was supposed to be the top prize in WWE. Punk would never main event pay-per-views, and WWE would always favor Cena.
Yes. Oh shit. All right. Back.
Cena over Punk. This even occurred when Punk vs Daniel Bryan at Over the Limit show couldn't main event over a Raw-worthy Cena vs John Laurinaitis matchup. In the summer of 2012, specifically Raw's 1000th episode, Punk decided that now was the time to take center stage. He'd lay out The Rock on Raw, and his justification was that he wasn't being respected by the company, and it was hard to disagree. Punk and Cena would then rekindle their feud, and as always, the two created utter magic and produced some of the most...
I had never seen John Cena do no suicide. I mean, I back then it was pay per view. I wasn't paying for that. I'm sorry, I couldn't have watched it. Like I don't got money. I'm not about to go. Hey mom, hey dad, can you spend $50? They go tell me. Well, my parents are Jamaican, so they gonna tell me for move up. And I get that. But yo, I never see Cena do a pay suicide or suicide dive. Yo, that caught me off guard.
celebrating matches of the respective era. Number 4, Bayley.
Russell did a suicide dive. Is crazy.
Vince McMahon struggled with her babyface presentation, and it didn't take long for the fans to begin to turn on her completely. In 2019, it was decided that now it was a time to try Bayley as a heel. This was a long time coming, and it was badly needed to save Bayley's run on the main roster.
It
Bayley would
was.
justify the heel turn by saying that she was simply siding with her best friend Sasha Banks, and this was an interesting approach to take with the heel turn, as both characters were wrestlers who felt justified by their actions. The former WWE Women's Champion would explain the heel turn during an interview with Fox 5 Atlanta. Nothing's changed. I know a lot of people are asking about my actions lately, but do you have a best friend? Would you do anything for your best friend? That's what I've been doing. Sasha Banks is literally my best friend, the best person I've ever met in my whole life, and I would do anything for her. And if anybody has a problem with her, I just have to be there for her and be by her side. And that's all I'm doing. I'm a champion. Kids look up to me. I'm a role model. Additionally, a babyface
Role
that
model.
fans are actively turning against usually
I
have
hate
a
her.
solid
I
reason
hate
for
that.
changing their attitude towards the audience, and this was most definitely the case here. Number 3. Lita. Now in 2005, WWE decided to take Lita's character in a brand new direction. Lita would join forces with Edge, and together the two would run rampant over the Raw brand. To get to this angle, WWE would have Lita turn heel, and this meant that she was going to have to turn on her demented husband Kane. Although Kane had done a number of illegal and disgusting
What
things
the
to
hell?
Lita in 2005, they were somehow on good terms, and it was almost as if Lita had forgiven all the sinister acts. However, when Lita cost Kane's match against Edge, it was revealed that Lita was waiting for the perfect moment to strike. WWE tried to paint Lita as the villain in the story, but it really didn't work. Lita managed to get extremely over as a heel, but this was mainly down to a real-life affair with Edge, as Lita would cheat on Matt Hardy, and when this became public knowledge, Lita became public enemy number 1. Number 2, Kevin Owens. One of the key elements of the Triple H era is to focus on continuity, and this was seen with Kevin Owens, as Owens decided
Kevin
to
Owens
turn
was
on Randy
right.
Orton and Cody Rhodes due to their positive relationship with the Bloodline. Owens would point out that the Bloodline had tried to end his career for years,
Damn.
and now that his good friends were siding with them, he saw this as a true spit in the face. Owens was spot on with this character motivation, and it would have made zero sense for Owens to simply continue as a beloved babyface despite notable side characters not sharing the same morals. WWE handled the Owens heel turn to perfection, as the babyface characters such as Rhodes were able to logically justify whether they decide to side with the Bloodline, and this allowed the fans to decide who was right with their reasoning, which was always a good place to be in terms of wrestling storytelling. And number 1, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's gradual drift into one of WWE's top heels has been an absolute joy to watch. McIntyre's character work has been exceptional, and the best thing about the character work is that it's always been embedded with logic and continuity. McIntyre took issue with the WWE locker room, accepting Jey Uso with open arms. Main event Jey had caused havoc with the Bloodline for years, yet the babyface side of the locker room had just moved on as if nothing had happened. Everything that McIntyre was saying had a ton of weight, and even the most casual fan could understand why
Way more.
McIntyre was slowly turning to the dark side. This continued into subsequent feuds with Seth Rollins and even CM Punk, as McIntyre's motivations were always based in established continuity, and this was a significant factor in McIntyre's character getting over to the extent it has over the past few years.
Yo, you know
There
who?
you have it, folks. 10 WWE heel turns that were actually justified. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more
I don't know
wrestling
why.
content.
Do y'all see this in the corner? I don't know why everybody thinks that this is what we get out of it. We're not getting this, bro. I'm sorry to tell y'all, bro. I have to be the one to tell y'all. We are not getting no Dr. Thugonomics John Cena. It is 2025. My man is old. Not to mention the obvious. I have to say it because I'm not. The obvious. There's a reason why R-Truth run around like as John Cena. Like, take that and do what you want with that information. As a 40-something, maybe close to 50-year-old man, he's not gonna be no doctors of Thugonomics, bro. This is a new John Cena we're gonna get tomorrow, because today is Sunday, tomorrow's Raw. This is not gonna be John Cena we saw the 21 years. This is not gonna be Dr. Thugonomics. This is gonna be something totally different. So I just want to say that before people think that we're gonna get this Cena, we're not. If we do, I kind of, I don't know. I don't think that's right. Like, I don't think he should do that now. Like, he's an older man. Again, I'm not gonna state the obvious to this. Like, you know, let's be honest. So it's kind of like, him doing that today is kind of, and the world's too sensitive. So him doing that today is kind of, it's not gonna be a it's gonna be well received by wrestling fans, but the world's gonna be like, why is he trying to be black? And that's why I keep saying, if you don't know the obvious, you know what I'm saying? Like, if R-Truth can't be the hip hop guy, and John Cena goes back to being a hip hop guy, which I don't see that happening. We're gonna find out tomorrow, but I just needed to get that one off my chest. Like, we're not gonna see no doctors or Thugonomics John Cena back. That's I don't want to see that. I'm sorry. 2025, at this point in life, I do not want to see that. It would be cool, but it's not. Even when he popped out at one of the whatever WrestleMania he came back as the Doctor of Thugonomics, it didn't look right. It was fire to see him do that again, but it didn't look right, to me at least. Imagine he really did pop out with the Thugonomics again. Just didn't. So think you're uncomfortable. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. Appreciate y'all. Always remember to keep doing your thing and make it make sense. I'll see y'all in the next video. Oh, by the way, subscribe to the channel. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Safety.